I'm going to wait a few minutes so that you guys can jump on, since I was on and then I was off and now I'm on again. So I'm going to go round up an onion and then we'll get started. It's been a super crazy day, to say the least. So, we're going to be making a delicious buffalo chicken chili. This is so good. So good. And then before we get started, or maybe after, I'm not really sure yet, I just wanted to, hey, Julie. Oh, it's snowing there? Do you know if it's headed my way, Julie? I didn't know there was snow coming. I hope it's not going to snow here because I'm not ready for it to snow here. At some point in time in this live, I want to talk about questions because I'm getting a ton of questions about fermenting beans. I have that whole complete guide up here on the channel answering everyone's questions, but then there was even more questions. So I kind of just like want to touch on that because I'm getting like the same repeated questions over and over and over again. So just in case you guys are new and you don't know what I'm talking about, let's talk about it really quick while we wait for more people to jump on. So over on my island, I have a bunch of these jars lined on up, okay? I don't know, but it's gloomy today and supposed to last through tomorrow here. You know what was really, really weird here today, Julie? It was like San Francisco fog, but it wasn't fog. It looked like smog, which is not going to be smoggy here. I live in the middle of nowhere. It was really, really weird. And now it's burned off. But it was like so weird. It was so dark, gray, fog looking, smog looking stuff in the middle of nowhere. Don't know. Anyway, so back to the beans. I just want to answer some of these questions really quick. So for this meal in particular, it is a chili, so it's going to have beans in it. So just in case you're new and you don't know, you at least want to take your dry beans and soak them. Warm and sunny in the 80s, Gulf Coast of Mississippi. Oh, that sounds nice. I think it was like 70 here today, which is not supposed to be that warm here this time of year. But so as I was saying, you want to at least take the beans and you want to at least submerge them in water with a little bit of an acidic medium and let them soak overnight. Minimum, that's what you want to do. And the reason why is because all seeds of the earth have a layer of phytic acid and an enzyme inhibitor, which is basically prevents it from sprouting until spring. And also the phytic acid helps it sprout. And so those things are both good for the seed, but unfortunately for you and your family, it actually binds to other minerals within your body. So then your food becomes an anti-nutrient. So all you have to do is submerge it, preferably filtered water if you can, and a little bit of apple cider vinegar or whey, and just let it sit overnight, okay? The only time the rules are different is with kidney beans. So with kidney beans, or any sort of kidney-shaped bean, you can Google that, I think there's like 19. These actually have an extra hard layer of pectin on the outside. Yes, like pectin, like making jams and jellies pectin. And that pectin makes it really, really hard to access the phytic acid and enzyme inhibitors in these kidney-shaped beans, okay? So we soak kidney-shaped beans with a little pinch of sea salt and a pinch of baking soda. Baking soda and sea salt both help to break down that pectin that's on the outside of the kidney-shaped beans. I get that question all the time on that video. Why? Why is it different with kidney-shaped beans? That's why. And so the pectin, in case you want to get nerdy on me, it also has like a super, super strong layer in it of calcium and magnesium, which is what makes the skins on kidney-shaped beans hard. Like even though you cook them, they kind of have like a thicker skin, okay? And so anyway, the salt and the baking soda gets rid of the pectin, which then makes it like every other bean. So that's why we add salt and baking soda to kidney beans and apple cider vinegar to all other shaped beans. Now, that's at a minimum. We're going to do that just for 24 hours. And then the next day you can make your chilies and your soups with it, which tonight we're going to make buffalo chicken chili. It's going to be really delicious. We had this last Thursday, I think, and it was so good. I just knew I had to make it for this class and share it with you guys. But if you want to learn how to ferment these beans, which is basically taking it a whole step further, you can go ahead and go watch that video. Where's Nevaeh?
She has a dirty diaper.
Oh, she has a dirty diaper? Okay. Poop calls, you guys. I'll have to go change a diaper. But anyway, if you want to if you want to learn how to ferment these beans to make all the nutrients multiply, then you guys can go ahead and go watch that video. I won't go through that tonight because I don't want to overwhelm people who don't want to go that deep. It's totally fine. So while I'm gone, Bree is going to come chop up an onion. And I'm going to go change a diaper. I think that's a fair trade, isn't it? They're both smelly. So we are going to get this back burner over here turned on to medium heat. And you want to hold her? I'll angle down the camera so they can watch you chop.
Yeah.
You can keep it going, girl. I'm going to change your diaper. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to angle you guys down. All right, so this pot's over medium heat. We're going to chop a whole onion up.
Okay.
And we're going to add it to the pot with a little bit of lard. Where'd our lard go? I guess we'll use the butter. Butter or lard, goose fat, duck fat, all work. A couple of tablespoons is plenty. This is our first live that she's had a messy diaper on. Check it out. All right. That's going to melt, and then we're going to add in our onions. Go play, buddy. All right, I'll go change your diaper, and you chop.
No, that
It's definitely not milk time yet. It's diaper time.
After diaper time, would it be milk time?
No, we're just starting. We're just starting. Take a look. It also might be a little hot for you.
Yeah.
Okay, you got yourself a knife. Don't cut yourself.
Yep.
Because cutting yourself is fun unless you're wise. Go to the bathroom. Cut it nice and small.
Yep.
For Dad. Yeah. You're happy. Yeah, Mama's gonna have to wash her hands. Ooh, don't put that down there. Right here. There you go. Okay. Nevaeh, can you come get her? And I'm gonna wash my hands, and then I can go back to my food class.
Lovely.
There we go. Thank you.
The whole onion?
The whole onion. Chop it all up, Bree. Doing great.
Does it matter how big the chunks are?
Well, your dad's eating it, so that's perfect. That looks great. And then I can take over. You want me to take over?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't want to stay and do the whole class for me? Okay, I'm back, everybody. Yeah, so this knife, someone else actually asked me about this knife. These are almost 20-year-old Miracle Blade knives, okay? Still sharp, still kicking butt. Love these knives. I was going to upgrade this year, but I don't think they make this style anymore. And this one is actually one of my all-time favorites. I know it's like shaped like a meat cleaver, but it's actually not their meat cleaver. They call it a chop and scoop. So it's like having a bench scraper and a knife all in one. And so you can chop all your carrots and then just scoop it up. Like, it's so nice, but I don't think they make this one anymore. At least not in their set. And I'm pretty sure this is called Rock and Chop. I'm pretty sure they don't make this one either. So I'm going to hold off till I can find out for sure that I can't get new ones of these because I love these. I use these all the time. They're always dirty. They are always being used. Love them. When I checked, I think a set of the Miracle Blade knives was only like 98 bucks, I think. But then you have to buy the knife block to store them in, which was, I think, another 100 bucks. But they have lasted me. I've never had to sharpen them. Like the steak knives are all still good. I love these knives. So anyway, I'm going to stick with these until I have to switch to something else. I've tried other knives in the past and I'm just not happy with them. You use them a couple of times and they get dull, and then you got to sharpen them. And I've been spoiled with Miracle Blade because I haven't had to sharpen them in 20 years. So I'm just going to stick with what I know on that one. I'm going to wash my hands really quick here. This soup, this chili is so good. So that is like literally the chopping for the whole recipe. There's no other chopping. Just an onion. Okay. So now we're going to go back on over here to the pot and we're going to add some seasonings. And give it a good stir. Keep the onion going. All right. Get myself a spoon. I think this pan needs a little bit more fat. Let me grab my lard. So just in case you're wondering why all these weird fats, why doesn't she use olive oil? Well, olive oil actually isn't stable at cooking temperatures, so it's much, much better for your health to use semi-solids. So this is a nice semi-solid. This is the old Crisco before it became vegetable oil. And so you're looking for things like lard and tallow, goose fat, duck fat, butter, coconut oil. All those things are great. So I just add a little bit more to the pan here. And we're going to get rolling. As soon as these are soft enough to pass my husband's check. He doesn't like crunchy onions, so we have to be a little mindful of that. Okay, so we can start adding a little bit of seasoning into here. So let's go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of organic cumin. This is the type of soup that just like sticks to your ribs on a nice cold snowy night, even though I don't have snowy. But the snow will eventually come. Usually we don't get snow till like Christmas. We just kind of stay warmer than the rest of the state that I live in. Okay, so 1 teaspoon of cumin. We need 1 tablespoon of chili powder. So this is mild chili powder. And 3 teaspoons equal a tablespoon. So I'm just going to add 3 teaspoons. There we go. All right. We're just about there. So while this is finishing up the simmering process, I'm going to open the Instant Pot that's behind you over here and get out our beans. You could totally simmer this meal for hours and get the beans nice and soft if you want. But my go-to is cooking the beans into the Instant Pot. That's another question I get about these fermented beans, soaked in fermented beans, is if you're fermenting them, then why are you cooking them? So if you go to watch that video, I'm pretty sure I answered that in that video, but I still get the question repeatedly. But basically, I'm not after the good beneficial probiotics in this food right now because we eat sauerkraut and fermented pickles and fermented salsa, all sorts of ferments, and so this is not my main source of fermented food. And the fermentation process does more than just provide beneficial bacteria. It multiplies the nutrients, so you're still gaining that even though you're cooking the beans afterwards. Okay, this is almost cooked. This is a really, really fast meal. If you started your beans before you went to work in an Instant Pot and then came back, you could totally just dump this and go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dump it and go here. This is, let's see, 5 cups of white beans. And the 5 cups is measured after they are soaked. Okay, so in reality, this is only probably like 2.5 cups to 3 cups of beans that were dry. And then when you soak them, they expand. And you're looking at around 5 cups here. And I just cooked them in some broth inside the Instant Pot. I'm going to give it a stir. Then we're going to go ahead and add some more broth. We need 4 cups, which is 32 ounces of broth. This is beef broth, but you could use chicken or whatever you want. Doesn't much matter. The flavor in this is going to come from our spicy ingredients. Give it a good stir. I doubled this recipe last week and we ate on it for like 3 meals for our large family. So I'm only making a single recipe today because of that. Okay, the next ingredient is Rotel. So 2 cups of Rotel. Last year, I took some of my tomatoes from my garden and I canned up homemade Rotel, which is just diced tomatoes, onions, a few spicy peppers of your choice. I think that's it. And I just canned it. So on the bottom there, it's got like some green chilies on the bottom. So I'm just going to dump 2 cups of this. I'm going to try and shake it here just for a second. And then dump 2 cups into there. But you're basically, if you're going to buy Rotel from the store, it's just 16 ounces. Another option would be to like get a 16 ounce or 15 ounce can of diced tomatoes and add your own onions and your own spiced like green chili jars. That'd be a good way to get it organic because I'm not sure they make organic Rotel. So again, that was 2 cups of Rotel, 4 cups of broth. We have one more spice ingredient, and that is 2 packets of ranch seasoning mix. Now, Azure sells a ranch seasoning mix that's in bulk, and I've bought it before, but it has a lot more preservatives than this one, and so I was more okay with this one. You could also make your own from total scratch, but this does have like dried milk in it and stuff, so if you had a mix at home that you like that works the same as a ranch dressing mix, that's what we're going to use. So we need 2 ounces, and each one of these is 1 ounce. So 2 of these packets. This is probably going to make close to 10 or so probably bowls of soup, I would guess. Like big bowls. Like I said, the other one, like fed us and fed us and fed us. And I was like, oh, it's really, really good. But I just don't know that I want to eat the same soup for 3 days in a row. Okay, so we're just going to stir that in. Ooh, got some dry stuff stuck to the top. So the recipe calls for hot sauce. So depending on how much hot sauce you like, you're going to obviously choose how much to put in. I have homemade sriracha sauce, which to me is like super, super hot. And so I am not going to add a half a cup of sriracha sauce, which is what the original recipe was calling for. So what I did last week was I just added a little bit, and then we're going to add some cream cheese here in a second, and then just kind of like let it mellow for a few minutes into the pot and then taste it again, because I don't want to burn my kids' lips off. I love spicy stuff, but I'm probably just going to start with that much, which was probably like 2 teaspoons, because I want them to be able to eat, because if they can't eat, they're going to have hungry kids, right? So we're going to let that mellow in there for a bit, and we're going to add our cream cheese, which is 1 pound. This is my homemade cream cheese. So if you're buying it from the store, 2 8-ounce packages. It's just going to get mixed on in, and then this is what kind of like tames the spice down just a little bit. It becomes super creamy. Another thing I did last time was I kind of squished a few of those white beans, and it really thickens the soup up. But it's just a nice thick, creamy, and then spicy. And then there's the ranch kick in there too. So it's definitely like buffalo wings, but in a soup form. And you could also do any beans you wanted. I stuck with white beans. For those of you who have been around my channel for a while, you guys know that we were trying to stay as close to the full GAPS diet as we possibly could. And so these white beans are full GAPS. However, if you're on full GAPS and your system is still spicy, you know, sensitive to spicy stuff, you're going to want to probably not try this. But our systems never were, or by the time we got on the full GAPS portion, we could handle spice okay. So I'm just going to use a whisk and try to break up some of this homemade cream cheese. It was nice and softened. I had taken it out a little bit earlier. probably about 3 hours ago, so it's nice and soft. I'm just kind of whisking up that cream cheese. And then we're going to get a clean spoon and get a taste of this and see where we're sitting. I still have to add chicken to this. I'm going to be adding cooked chicken. Now, if you aren't going to be using cooked chicken and you needed to saute it, you can saute it with the onion inside the beginning. I always use cooked chicken, or most of the time anyway, because we raise all of our own chicken here on the farm, and it's easier for me to store the chicken if we cook them down, and I can the broth up, and then separate the chicken into 1 pound baggies, just like this one here, and then I can just add it straight to the soup. This is also going to need some salt. It needs, ooh, hang on. Nope, that's good. That's enough sriracha sauce. It's like at first you're like, oh, it's not that spicy, and then whoo, it just kicks you right in the mouth. Okay, so I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of salt. So this is healthy pink Himalayan salt. You want colored salt. So I'll let you guys choose what you'd like to use. It could be sea salt, it could be pink Himalayan, it could be Redmond's real salt, whatever you'd like. I'm going to just give this a stir. And then we're going to chop up our chicken and add it. And then this soup is done. That's how easy this was. And this is absolutely delicious if you let it like sit in a crock pot or an Instant Pot overnight. So, so good. The flavors just keep mixing, and it just is so good. I'm going to grab my chopping board. I need to chop one more thing. It was a lie that you only had to chop the onion, though, and that was it. In my case, I also have to chop the chicken. So we're going to give it a good chop. So you want around 4 cups of chicken. And like I said, this stuff's already cooked. This just works for our family. It might not work for you, but I do know that having stuff ready to go and being able to thaw out meat quickly is a huge benefit when you're super, super busy. And I know everyone in this world is super, super busy. These bags, you can stick them frozen solid and put them in hot water, and they're done in 30 minutes and ready to go into something. Okay, so a handful is about 1 cup. So we have 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups. So we need 1 more cup. So about 1 pound of chicken. So it's coming out to. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to need 2 or not. So this meal, obviously, the baby's not going to be eating because it has a little kick to it. But she gets her own private steamed veggies and yummy chicken and all sorts of stuff. Okay. 1 pound of chicken added, and I'm going to bring you guys back over to the soup so you guys can see the final stir. And you're basically just heating it until it's warm enough for you to eat. And then it's ready to go. All right, slide you guys on over again. Here we go. There it is. So that again was 1 pound of chicken that we just added. And this soup is done. Hopefully you guys can see how nice and creamy that is. Do you guys see that? Oh, it's so good. And there's no thickener. So that's awesome. It's nice and creamy and will fill you up. Got nice healthy fats in there. Like I said, I just seasoned it with 2 teaspoons of salt. If you want it saltier, add more salt. But that's usually okay for us. And like I said, I maybe did 2 teaspoons of sriracha. It'll depend on what hot sauce you use as to how much you put in there and how much you enjoy really, really hot things. But this is a really, really good thick soup. So I'm just going to turn this down to like medium-low to keep it nice and warm for my family. And then I'm going to hang out for a little bit if you guys want to talk. That's cool. We can talk about whatever you want. Even beans. Here's my pantry. The floor's a little messy. I'm actually like starting to have canning jars again because I've used some of the things I can, which is cool. I'm just going to give this another stir. Where did I put my spoon? Just so it doesn't stick. Cool. All right, does anybody have any questions? I'm pretty sure the canned rotel was just diced tomatoes, onions, and peppers. Oh, are you coming back for milk?
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's back for milk. All right, let me grab milk. If you guys have any questions or want to talk about something, comment down below. Let me grab some milk. You got a cough, huh, buddy? Mm-hmm. No good. Does your throat hurt?
I don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is? I don't either. I noticed you started doing it yesterday. Kind of sad.
Why is there tiny bit milk?
Did you take cod liver oil this morning? Do you remember?
Is it answer no?
Is that the answer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll take cod liver oil right now. I'll just do it live. Where is it? You want to go get the cod liver oil?
I know what it is.
Okay. He's going to show you guys how easy it is for children to take their cod liver oil. This used to be a normal thing, this cod liver oil stuff. Do you need help, buddy? I thought it was down where you can reach it. There. Oh, someone put it up high. Okay. Come on over. Okay, so this is the cod liver oil I'm going to give him. Okay.
I don't want that carbon oil.
Why?
I want your carbon oil.
Really? You're going to actually take that? Usually you say it's spicy.
Well, I don't. It's not spicy anymore.
Oh. You're silly. Okay, so it just comes with a little syringe, and so we just draw it up to the 2 ml mark. It's not hard at all. The only thing I don't like is that you draw it up like a vaccine. It just brings back memories of working at a veterinarian hospital. Anyway, there is the cod liver oil. Okay, here's your milk, buddy. So we just chase it down with some milk, or milk kefir. Ready? I tried to do it underneath their tongue because I've shot it over their tongue before, and then it gets into your tonsils, and oh man, that burns. And you are coughing, and your eyes are watering. How's that? Was that good? It's gone. It's out of here. You're such a good boy, aren't you? Good job. Did you hear what soup I'm making? Yeah, it's the buffalo chicken stuff, that creamy soup. You want to see it? Okay, I'll try and lift you up. You're getting so big. Oh my gosh. Oh, that one.
Oh.
Yummy. He's so excited. If you ordered my cookbook, I've shipped everything. I don't have any cookbooks waiting to be shipped. I'm a little bit behind on putting the tracking numbers. I'm hoping to get to that tonight after the live. And then you'll get a email with the tracking number. I know many of you guys have already gotten yours, which is awesome. I wasn't sure how fast they were going to go out because it seems like mail was taking forever. Let's see. Someone was waiting on kefir grains. My brain's trying to pull up the name. Is it going to pull it up? Probably not. Anyway, whoever you were here last week, last Tuesday on my live, and I think you're waiting for kefir grains now. So they're on the way. Hopefully they came. Let's see. Other than that, I guess that's all I have. I have a ton of cookbooks in stock and lots of sourdough starter and kefir grains. If you guys need any of that, it's down below. Yeah, my link to Perfect Supplements is down below as well. And I'm not allowed to say anything yet, but there's going to be something regarding Perfect Supplements coming up in the next few weeks. So make sure you guys are watching the lives because it's pretty big. And I can't wait to tell you guys about it so you guys can cash in on it, okay? So, yeah, keep watching the lives and we'll be talking about it. And that'll be really cool. I'm trying to think of what else is new. I don't think anything else is new. It's the same old, same old. Oh, I know what happened. We bought one of those billboard tarps. I don't know if any of you guys have ever had any experiences with those. For our wood pile. So every year we would spend all this money on these industrial tarps for our wood pile. And with all the snow and everything, it would just like push the tarp down and the wood would tear the tarp. And we would spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on tarps. And so this year we took, they're called cattle panels. They're like metal. And we made it like in a hoop. And then I bought some of those billboard tarps, which are so cool. And then the girls and I just worked on putting the little grommet holes like you see on a tarp into the billboard. It's an old billboard sign for a medical place, which I just had to laugh. But anyway, and so we put the grommets in it and we laid it across there and stretched it nice and tight. And it looks so nice. Like, I mean, it looks like a billboard, but you have like an option to either do it the billboard side up, which is like a white color with their ad, or do flip it upside down and then have it have the black side up. Well, I didn't want the black side because in my mind, I was like, it's going to fade faster. It absorbs the heat from the sun, and I don't want it to be super hot underneath there. And we're probably actually going to take them off, like after winter is gone and the wood pile's gone, because you actually want your wood to air out anyway. But anyway, I'm super excited because they said that the tarps would last 2 to 3 years. And I got enough to do our huge wood pile, like over the cattle panels and each end. And it was like under $100, which tarps, like those industrial tarps, we were spending hundreds of dollars, like over like $150 a year on that. So if we can just get them to last 2 to 3 years, awesome. So we were working on that today. And then after I get off the live, we went to town earlier and bought some tarps for our round bales. And so we're going to go and put those on. And that whole thing was awesome. I saw a video here on YouTube about storing them on their side. So it looks like a burrito, just like all the farmers do around here. But then taking a tarp, and for our round bales, we ended up having to get a bigger size. The video that I watched said like a 6x8. But the goal isn't to cover the whole bale because those round bales are still drying out. And so you don't want to actually like completely tarp them because the moisture needs to get out or you get mold. And so we went to go stick the 6x8 tarps on there and it wasn't enough. So basically, we went back and got, I think it's 8x10. I think it's 8x10 to go over them. And so basically the tarp just has to go over the round part and then like halfway down the sides till like right before it starts heading back in as a circle. So like right, halfway. And so then the water just comes off the tarp and then it just drips straight down. So anyway, and then what you do, this is earth breaking over here because we have high winds and we lose tarps because they come loose or they flap in the wind because it's so windy here all the time. So the big news is I bought a whole bunch of tent stakes, like 11-inch big heavy duty metal tent stakes. And you can like totally tent stake through the grommet on your tarp, and it like sucks it right up against the round bale. And then you go on the other side and pull it tight and do the same on that side. And the wind can't, shake it. So it's not getting full of air and getting worn out and, splitting and getting holes in it. And it's going to shed the water. So I'm super excited. I'm excited to not have the sound of like a tarp blowing off on the side of the house over there where the hay is. So anyway, I'm super excited to give that a whole winter's try. And I'll have to like update you guys in the spring for those of you who are interested in the round bale storing as far as that goes. This soup is done, so I'm going to shut it off. That's how easy that was. Wasn't that an easy soup? Oh my goodness. And you could totally have your Instant Pot going, which I still had it going. While you're at work, if you work, just load your beans, load your broth, put the lid on, push your bean/chili button, walk away and come back at the end of the day and just do what I just did, which is super, super fast. Oh, this soup is going to be so good. If you can have, sourdough bread or like even like crunchy sourdough croutons would be amazing on top of this. Yeah. Something that's crunchy that you could dip in it would be really, really good. Even chips. You could try chips. It's a chili, with your beans. So, and you could do, like I said, any beans you want. You could do a mix of beans. I just did white beans. You could do white beans and black beans. You could do all sorts of things. So use your imagination. It's really, really good. I hope you guys give this soup a try. I'm going to check the comments one more time. Julie says, I'm going to make a batch of your pear sauce recipe tomorrow. Oh, that is so good. I was so disappointed. I lost some of my pear sauce this year. I ran out of the superb lids, Julie. And so then I went locally because I didn't know I was going to be canning all these. I have like so many jars this year. I just canned and canned and canned. It was crazy. and I ran out of the superb lids. And so then I went and bought the ball lids, and I'm having like, seal failures. So I lost like 6 jars. Total bummer. That's one reason why I don't use ball anymore. So it's kind of like my little spanking. Stormy says, can the soup be canned or frozen? So this has dairy in it, so it depends on what your own personal rules are for your kitchen on canning dairy. If you didn't, let's see, how would I do this? So if I was going to do this, I would have the beans that are freshly soaked, like this, okay, not cooked. And I would put all of my ingredients except for the cream cheese in there. And I would simmer it for 30 minutes. And what that does is it takes your already soaked beans and it makes it so they're not going to expand much bigger because you don't want to shatter a jar. And then I would go ahead and add my cream cheese to it. And if you feel safe, because there are some people who will tell you that it's not safe, so it's up to you. But if it were me and I wanted to do that in my kitchen, I would add the cream cheese, thicken it up, pour it in your jars, 1-inch headspace, and I would water bath can them for, my gut tells me 3 hours. But I don't really know that there's anything about that. I mean, I've seen videos where people can cream cheese all the time, and it's like just water bathing for 30 minutes. So you would have to figure out what it would be, but I know for sure that 3 hours would be safe. If you wanted to freeze it, this would freeze wonderfully. So the thing about cream cheese, and this is actually goat cream cheese, and so goat cream cheese actually freezes quite well. Actually, so does feta, ironically. But cow cream cheese kind of gets gritty and grainy when you freeze it, unless it's already in a meal. So when it's in a meal like this, in a soup, go ahead and freeze it. It'll be perfect. It's just, if you go to freeze just the block by itself, that's when you will notice the graininess because it hasn't been diluted and spread out all over your soup. In this case, one of the recipes inside my cookbook, the, what's it called? Cheeseburger soup. It's one of our favorite recipes. And I have frozen that soup so many times I can't even tell you. And that has cream cheese in it. It also has sour cream. And those two things you're not supposed to freeze. But in a soup already, ends up just perfect. Another option is I do have a video up on how to pressure can the beans that are already soaked. If you want to just have them in a quart-sized jar and have them ready to go on the shelf and just dump them in, that's totally an option too. And in that video, I pressure can them. So that's a 90-minute pressure canning scenario. Or you can water bath can the soaked beans for 3 hours. I will tell you that I love the texture and taste of water bath canned beans way over the pressure can ones because the pressure can ones are always mushy, whereas the water bath canned beans are the consistency of the ones you buy from the store, which all of us are after. Like, we would just want the home canned stuff to be just like the stores. And that's what you get when you water bath can your dry beans that have been soaked. So anyway, look into both those things. I do have a video up here about pressure canning them. And then you choose whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm a huge advocate of respecting whatever you feel is best for you and your family. And I just think everybody has their own rules, you know, so whatever you feel comfortable with. But this would be an amazing soup. Even if you did everything but the cream cheese and just added the cream cheese last, you could totally, this would be like a 90-minute pressure can situation. And so then you would just add the cream cheese last. So you would still put your soaked beans into your pot, and you would, with your broth and your other ingredients, and you'd simmer it. And then after 30 minutes, you just fill your jars and then pressure can it for 90 minutes. And then after that, like I said, you just take it off the shelf, pop your lid, add your cream cheese, warm it up, and you're done. So that could be another option to canning it safely, but still having the cream cheese as long as you have it in the house, if that makes sense. That was probably way more information than what you were asking for. All right, you guys. We do need, Julie, we need the moisture so bad. It's so dry here. I know you guys do too. It's crazy, but knock on wood, it says it's supposed to rain here Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I'm hoping so because the ground is so dry. All the grass is dead, which sometimes happens after the frost. But I mean, last year we still had goats that were going like pasture rotation through our pastures now, which is crazy. So yeah, it's all dead and crisp. Very, very crisp. So, all right, you guys. Well, keep your eyes out. I don't know. You know, it seems like these lives work a lot better if I just go live at 5:15 without having a pre-scheduled event. I know that some of you guys count on that pre-scheduled event, but for whatever reasons, YouTube is having like major glitches, and it's so frustrating because I go through to set everything up ahead of time, and then I go to click on it, and it's not right. So, yeah, it's interesting. So I might just jump on live, or maybe I'll do a pre-scheduled event and then just not use it. I don't know what to do. If you guys have any advice, let me know. But after I get off this live, I'll put all my links down in the description box. And then if you guys need anything, they're down there. And those are just my affiliate links. I don't make very much money, you guys, but every now and then it adds up to just enough to buy our liver powder, which we did last month. Thank you so much. But I don't make a killing. I do this channel because I want to spread the word of nutrient-dense foods. That's my only purpose, my only goal, and I'm not here to sell you stuff. So if you're interested, the links will be down in the description box. If not, that's okay too. Okay, you guys, that's all I have for you. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys next week when we make another really, really, really good meal. All right, you guys take care.